How about something different for this channel? How about reading aloud some really great works of fiction and nonfiction from local Minnesota writers? I'm Lily with the Lili channel, and I love publicizing great businesses, great works. This is exciting. I happen to know the author of this book. The name is Michelle Romano, and the title is Finding Faith. Here's the cover. If you're listening to this instead of watching it, I am showing a paperback book with a couple, this lady and a guy, look like they're about to kiss. And it's called Finding Faith. Now, this is not just a romance novel, so if you don't like romance novels, you might just like relationship-related books, so don't turn the channel, okay? Stay with me, and I'm just going to read a little bit of it, first the back of it, and then maybe almost a chapter. This is a self-published book. This is, I think, Michelle's second one. She is a social worker. She is a meetup organizer. She's a great person, etc. So here is the beginning, or shall we say the back of it. When Faith Neely falls in love with Daniel, she abruptly moves to New York City to be with him. Daniel is charming, but he has a dark side. One morning, she awakens to find him gone. Devastated, Faith travels to a small town in the Southwest, where everyone seems to know her. Through a series of twists and turns, she uncovers deep secrets from her past. Michael Santoro is summoned back to his hometown, where his estranged father is terminally ill. There, he grapples with his traumatic upbringing. Will Michael be able to forgive his father and heal his heart? I was really impressed with this book because I had no idea what Michelle's writing ability was. She has a high rating on Amazon. Check her out there. I just know that she's a kind person and that she seems to love writing. Well, now I know why. This is just a little over 200 pages. I seriously could not put the book down. Each night I would read a couple pages, and then the afternoon some, and I thought, I gotta get other things done. So I started using it as a reward. So if you know somebody who either has moved across the nation or is having trouble with their relationships, or talks about visiting maybe someone in the nursing home, or taking care of someone, or maybe lost a parent, there's so many connective points that would make this relatable to somebody. It's fantastic. Now, the one thing I will say about it, though, is that the ending really ticked me off. I won't say what it was, but I got to the ending and I thought, come on, Michelle, you can't do this to me. This has to go on for another 100 pages. Come on. So I was miffed that it was done. Well, let's just pick the first chapter, and I will read it to you. I also like to do audiobooks. I'm trying to do more of those. All right, so chapter 1. The candle's flame pulled me in. I was captivated by its hypnotic dance. The world receded, my vision narrowed, and all I saw was the glow of the light. The Vintage, an old and restored house converted into a bar, nestled in the Cobble Hill neighborhood of Brooklyn, displayed candle sconces and tea lights. It was the perfect place to hide from life for a while. My only friend, Therese, sat across from me. We had met 2 years ago on the train, struck up a conversation, and soon became friends. When I mentioned that I was looking for a job, she hired me at her advertising firm. Meeting at the Vintage had become our weekly ritual. Hey, you all right, Faith? Maybe you should go somewhere to get away, Therese suggested. Yeah, I murmured, unable to form a clear thought, still distracted by the candlelight. My breath was shallow, my will to connect to the world gone. Well, I think you should. I barely heard her and nodded without emotion. Shall we go, or are you still sipping your drink? Her Brooklyn accent conveyed a hint of impatience. We'd been sitting for well over an hour, and she was itching to see my bubbly self return. I slurred, I'd like to stay. You can go. It was too hard to do much of anything, let alone talk. Therese bent down, gave me a hug, and left. I felt solace in being alone, and I was drawn back to the flame. My world had crumbled on a Sunday morning. After having gone to bed with him, I awoke to find myself alone. I called his name, and my voice was met with silence. I ran through the kitchen and the bathroom, and then I dashed back into the bedroom. I opened his dresser drawers. They were empty. All his belongings had vanished. Reality hammered me. My body shook and my stomach heaved while the room spun. I didn't know what to do. Daniel was gone. Collapsing on the couch, I sobbed. How could this happen? He vowed he would never leave. Through tears, desperately searching for answers, I looked around the living room. A small piece of paper was taped to the door frame leading to the kitchen. My head spun as I rose to read it. This isn't working for me. I'm leaving. Daniel. I turned the paper over. It was blank. I read his words over and over to see if I had missed something. Did he fall out of love with me? Was there another woman, or was he just not capable of commitment? Almost 3 months had passed since that dreary October morning, yet it felt as though it was just yesterday. Sometimes I smelled his musky cologne in the closet and loving feelings rushed back. Other times, a hot ball of anger pounded inside me. I spent most of my waking hours sitting in front of my bedroom window, desperately anticipating the sight of his black pickup truck, certain it would roll down the street and stop in front of our apartment. I waited for Daniel to knock on the door, pleading for me to take him back and confessing that he'd made the worst mistake of his life. Even though life moved around me, I stood still. I felt no hunger pangs or thirst. I was numb and had checked out. From that awful day forward, I had attempted to fit the pieces together and analyze why this had happened, in some futile hope that, if I could find the reason for the breakup, I could fix whatever was broken. I recalled how he had come home late from work several times without an explanation. He also hadn't invited me to attend work functions. One time, I smelled sweet perfume on his business shirt. There were other things too, but I couldn't remember. Oh, it's so incredible. So I will put her contact information in the details section. It's so well written, it's so detailed, you feel like you're right there. And it can be sad at points, given the way the nursing home scenes are written, but they're sad because I get it. I've been there. I feel it. It's amazing. So get your copy of it. Finding Faith is the title, by Michelle Romano, and she's got a book on grieving coming up as well. Support your independent authors, okay? And let me know if there's a title you know of that's either just been published or about to be published and needs to be read. I'm here. Thanks.